All right, we are going to be looking at Mountain Math problem number 5 and number 9. This tutorial actually is just going to cover number 5. I'm looking over here on Thursday and I see that that's exactly what we need to be working on, Mountain Math number 5. So, what is Mountain Math number 5? Mountain Math number 5 is taking us back to a vocabulary word, and that vocabulary word is multiples. Okay, now multiples, those are those numbers that are inside of a multiplication table. As I go to my Google Classroom, your Google Classroom, I am going to go down to the daily grind, and I know in the daily grind I got a tool in there for me, and that's my multiplication table. I can click on that. When I click on that multiplication table, it comes up eventually, and then I gotta do one more step, because it seems like when Mr. Tillish is adding things into Google Classroom, there's always a little quirk to it, and so we just need to rotate it. When you open the multiplication table up, it is vertical, and that's really, really difficult to read. So if I hit my little print button over here on the right-hand side of my screen, what it actually does, I'm not going to be printing anything. It just gives me an opportunity to rotate that photo so that it is facing the correct direction, and as if it was sitting on your desk in front of you. If I hover over next to this print icon, right here we have this half circle. I can click on that half circle and it will rotate my multiplication table. All right, now what did I just say? I just said that problem number 5 takes us back to a really important vocabulary word for us in mathematics, and that is the idea of multiples. Okay, multiples and products, or answers to multiplication problems, are found inside of the multiplication table. Okay, these are all the numbers that are the answers, the products, or the multiples of your factors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way to 15 on this table. A lot of multiplication tables only take you to 12. This one takes you to 15. And that is to expand on how many multiples we can start to memorize for each factor. So that's what we're doing in number 5. We're going to be taking two numbers and we're going to be finding the multiples, or the answers to multiplication problems. Okay. So, number 5, the two numbers that we're going to be working with are the number 4. Okay, we got number 5 here. Number 4 and the number 9. Right? And eventually we're going to get to the point where we have these multiples memorized. So the multiples of 4 would be skip counting by 4s. The multiples of 9 would be the same thing as skip counting by 9, as if I was looking at a multiplication table and I'm looking at 4 and I want to skip count by 4s. I'd go 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So I'm skip counting. And when you skip counting by 4s, you're actually landing on the multiples of 4 when you start at 0. So if I'm looking at my page, I want to write down some multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. There's a whole bunch of them, okay? So list the multiples of each number on the number line. That's your first direction. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28. So I know I'm at 4 times 7 because I know 4 times 7 is 28. 4 times 8 would be 32. And look at this next direction. At least 8 multiples, okay? And because I landed on 32 from skip counting by 4s, I know I just listed 8 because 4 times 8 is 32. Now let's start skip counting by nines. Let's list the multiples of 9. The multiples of 9 are 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72, 81. Okay. Skip counting by nines allows us to find the multiples of 9. So 9 times 2 is 18. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 4 is 36. 9 times 5 is 45. 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 7 is 63. And 9 times 8 is 72. I just listed the first 8 multiples of 9. 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63, 72. Skip counting by nines. Okay. Now the last direction for number 5 is put a star around the least common multiple. Do these two numbers have any multiples that are common, or do they have multiples that are the same? 9 doesn't have a 4, 9 doesn't have an 8, 9 doesn't have 12, 9 doesn't have 16, 9 doesn't have 20, 9 doesn't have 24, 9 doesn't have 28, 9 doesn't have 32. I might have to list some more multiples here for the number 4. And that might be the case. 4 times 9 is 36. So I just listed one more multiple, and guess what? That helped me find the least common multiple. So what happened there? We didn't have a least common multiple, okay? We didn't find any multiples between 4 and 9 that were the same, that they shared, until we added more multiples to one of our numbers, and in this case it was 4. So we have to put a star, one of the more silly directions, I think. We'll put a star around that 36. Now it looks terrible and I can barely read it, but it does say put a star around the least common multiple, or that multiple that is the smallest number that they both share. Boys and girls, that is number 5 for Mountain Math.